everybody, it's Courtney here with RNA Reset, and today I have one of our amazing champions with us to share her story with the RNA Reset products. So everyone, this is Emily. Emily, thank you so much for being with us today. We're so excited to have you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So Emily, why don't you go ahead and just share a little bit about your background with Dr. Dean's Completement Formulas, starting with maybe how you heard about the formulas and then how long you've been using them.
Sure. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember how I heard about the formulas. And part of that is because I was struggling with such severe autoimmune disease at that point in time that I had terrible brain fog. And so everything is a little bit of a blur. I think if I had to imagine correctly, I think it was probably online, because at that time I was doing a lot of my own research, trying to figure out how I could heal myself after conventional doctors couldn't help me understand what was going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess a little bit about what happened is I was 6 months postpartum with my first baby and feeling very stressed and frazzled. And relatively quickly, around the time I just decided to stop breastfeeding, I was hit with a lot of terrible autoimmune symptoms, a lot of really vague stuff that I now understand as, the full body meltdown, Dr. Dean likes to call it, which is a really good descriptor, I would say. It was things like I mentioned, brain fog and digestive issues. I know a lot of people gain a lot of weight, but I lost a lot of weight really rapidly. I wasn't absorbing nutrients. I suddenly had tons of food sensitivities. I was having a lot of candida type symptoms, a lot of weird skin manifestations, skin issues, mood swings, anger, weepiness. And I mean, the list goes on and on. Weird vision stuff, like weird floaties, ringing in my ears. It was just a lot of really strange symptoms. And I would go to doctors repeatedly and get blood work done, and everything looked mostly normal on my blood work. They sent me to a GI specialist who told me I had spastic colon and IBS, and they were recommending all these different medications, which I started to just have this gut feeling like were going to be Band-Aids. And I wanted to know what was really going on with my body. I wanted to know why I was sick all of a sudden. I now know that it wasn't sudden, and that it was a lifetime of things going wrong, and a slow deterioration into severe mineral imbalance. But at the time, it felt like it was overnight that things hit, and doctors just kept wanting to throw medication at me, and I wasn't satisfied with medication as an answer. I had been turning to medication and doctors my whole life, and I wanted to get to the root of the problem. That's when I started doing my own research and found RNA Reset and the Completement Formulas. I started with Remag, just Remag, and soon after that added in Remite, and downloaded a bunch of Dr. Dean's ebooks and read up all about candida and mineral imbalance, and what it looks like when your body doesn't have what it needs to function at the cellular level. And it was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is me, and this is my body, and this is what's wrong. This is the stuff that my body is lacking. And I've been depleted from stress and from childbearing and from years of pharmaceuticals and eating improperly and processed foods. And so with that, like I said, I started taking the Remag and the Remite, and I slowly regained my health. I slowly started to be able to tolerate more foods, and slowly gained weight. And I should mention too that I started giving the Completement Formulas to my son as well, who was dealing with similar issues at the time. The pediatricians couldn't tell me what was wrong with him either. And I figured, since these were minerals, I might as well give it a shot. And so we started adding the minerals to his bottles, and he made a complete return to health as well. We also
Wow.
started taking a soil-based probiotic, which at that time, Dr. Dean had not released her probiotic yet. So we had found another soil-based probiotic, and we started taking that too, as well as some other good healing herbs and other supplements and remedies. But I attribute my rediscovery of my health to Dr. Dean's formulas. And I'm eternally grateful to Dr. Dean and the company and all of these formulas for helping me get my life back and helping my son get his life back too.
Yeah, what an amazing story. I mean, it really just, like, you can tell you just took your health like back in control. Of course, these formulas have truly made a difference, and it's really exciting to hear that within you and even with your son. So thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What do you think would be like the biggest difference? Like what was like maybe the first thing you started to see when you started taking the formulas?
I started to be able to think clearly. I would say the first thing that changed is I started to be able to think clearly. There was one point in time when my brain fog was so bad that I had an analog clock on the wall, the kind with hands on it. Mm-hmm. And there was one day when my brain fog was so bad that I looked at the clock and I could see the hands and I could see the numbers, but my brain was not computing what time it was. And that was terrifying.
Oh my goodness.
I'm obviously normally someone that can tell the time on a clock. So that was really scary.
Yeah.
And as I started taking the formulas, not only did my focus come back, but I was calmer. I started having fewer episodes of rage. Rage was one of the biggest things I dealt with postpartum, which, I think it's kind of taboo to talk about that, but it's a part of it for some women. And I really struggled with that. It helped me to be more calm and relaxed and more present with my baby. And then lastly, and probably most spectacularly, I was able to stop taking a pharmaceutical sleep medication that I had been on for almost 10 years that I depended on to be able to go into a deep sleep. So I had visited a sleep specialist who hooked up all the wires to my face and told me that I had a sleep disorder and I wasn't going into deep sleep. And so they prescribed a pharmaceutical that forced my body to go into deep sleep. And after taking the minerals and the Completement Formulas for a while, I was actually able to stop taking that, which was like a dream come true. I never thought that I would be able to say that I would be able to sleep through the night without taking that pharmaceutical medication. So I'm now free of all, I'm now free of all pharmaceuticals. And that's super exciting. And also something that I never expected to be able to say. So
it's so cool to hear your journey. I mean, it's unbelievable. But it's possible. Like, it's so possible. So, oh gosh, it gives me goosebumps. What would you say to somebody? So, we have a lot of people who maybe have heard of RNA Reset or heard of Dr. Dean, someone who maybe is just kind of curious and, based off of your experience, what would you tell them if, they were interested or thought about trying the formulas for themselves?
A couple of things. Probably first, I would say that curiosity has led you here for a reason, and nothing happens by accident. Whether you believe in God as your higher power or just the universe's forces when it comes to how you wind up feeling lousy and why you stumbled upon Dr. Dean and her formulas, I would say don't discount that. Don't brush that off. You are here for a reason. You are looking into this for a reason. Aside from that, I would say it can't hurt because it's just food. Its minerals are food, and these particular formulas in particular are things that we're just we're not getting from our diet as much as we used to, and so when our bodies aren't functioning like they're supposed to nowadays, not only is it because of all the garbage that we're consuming in and around us, it's a lack of the good stuff, the good nutrients that our food used to have that it doesn't anymore. And so this is filling in that gap. And so I would say if someone is curious or nervous about it, I would just say it's good stuff. It's just food, and it's so bioavailable because of the way the formulas are designed, that you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, you're
And
so
it's
right.
liquid, you know, too. It's liquid too.
It's so
Or, well,
easy.
the remag and the remite and the potassium at least, and what are the calcium as well. But they're liquid, and so you know, people who have trouble swallowing pills, that's a huge
Mhm.
plus also.
Yes.
So
I always say like the vitamin C powder, like it makes it taste so good.
so
We love
good.
that. Or in your
Yeah.
smoothies, like it's just so easy to incorporate it in your daily routine.
Yep, for sure.
Yes. Well, Emily, you really shared an amazing journey with us today. So thank you, not just sharing it with us, but with other people. It's amazing. And we definitely can look forward to continuing this health journey with you as you continue.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you for taking the time to listen. And thank you not only to you, but the entire company and Dr. Dean and everyone who had a part um, in making these formulas happen, because I don't know that I would be here without you guys. So thank you.
we love it. Well, thank you again, Emily. If anyone out there has any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. You can send us a message. You can reach out to our support team. Lots of available options for you. So feel free to reach out. And if you have any questions about learning more about Dr. Dean's formulas, feel free to check out our website, rnareset.com. We'll see y'all next time.